It's gonna be coffee with Earl, OOVOO. Hey OOVOO, let's have some coffee. Now the problem with OOVOO is it can be done right or wrong, and I think that the people that do it on the wrong way are doing it on purpose because they're looking for that remarkable evening. You know, like that one night we all drank piss or took our shirts off, or so-and-so said this about race or skin color and got everybody all worked up, you know, like shortcuts to a remarkable evening, which I used to see all the time working as a bouncer in bars. Someone wouldn't know how to have a good evening, and so they'd just take a shortcut, which is, remember that time that guy bumped me on the dance floor and I shoved him? You know, like socially maladjusted good times. OOVOO, that's your problem. You have socially maladjusted good times. And there'll be a certain amount of spectators too that like, well, yeah, I know people do that, but I don't really do it, but like I'm there for it. And that's the problem about boundaries. Like this, so this is when OOVOO or Google Hangouts is done right. Because I've been with some people that have done it right, and I've really enjoyed it. You have to have boundaries. You have to have things that you either say like, hey man, I don't want to talk about that kind of thing. That's my business. That's personal. Or this topic actually is bothering me. I'll tell you why. And like people are like, oh, sorry, buddy, and like they'll steer the conversation elsewhere, or they won't, and you should just flat out leave. If people aren't going to respect what bothers you when they're talking, it's not like talking's the most important thing that's ever happened today. You know, it's like you bring up a topic that bothers somebody and they want you to change the topic. If you can't do that, then really you're just being disrespectful and trying to like have a remarkable time that one time you upset that person on the internet. So I think it's just like, you gotta just pick and choose who you're hanging out with. And I know it's hard because people can come and go. But I think as a group though, you could decide upon appropriate behavior. Yeah, I've done it a few times, hung out with small groups of people, or the one time a larger group of people. I just got lucky and everybody was really cool. Someone did ask me about my sexual orientation, I think. I can't remember. I was drinking, unfortunately, too much, and I just remember telling everybody I was transgender. Like, so that just put an end to that conversation. Like, basically, I was like, my sexuality or identity or whatever is none of your goddamn business. And if I wanted it to be everybody's business, I'd make a video about it. Same thing with asking me about work or anything, like searching for like private details about my life. It's like, if I'm not bringing it up, it's because I don't want it brought up. And if you're insensitive, you'll bring it up. And if you're sensitive, you'll see that I'm avoiding topics like that. And we'll be respectful. And it's just rare. I mean, it's rare to find it anywhere, but you could cultivate that kind of thing. I think sometimes that's the thing about cultivating that kind of thing, because sometimes that means you're not doing what you want to do. Like, I wanted to get online, but the people I wanted to talk to aren't there, and well, I guess I'll find something else to do. That's a lot of times, like, kind of you ring the bell for something. Like I rung the bell when I was hanging out with Amanda, and I was like, I want to have fish and chips, but we couldn't figure out where the fish and chips place was, so we went to a Mediterranean place and they had fish and chips, so I ordered it there. Sometimes you ring the bell. I want to go hang out on OOVOO, and I know it would be difficult once you ring the bell to unring it, but that's, if you can't, then the disappointment is going to be your reward. Like, you're hanging out with people that aren't as respectful, aren't as polite, aren't as socially adjusted, don't really care that much about you, other than that you might be a source of amusement for them, which is a shame. Like, I think it's like, that's kind of why I hang out with people. Like, I hope for that it'll be fun and enjoyable and amusing. But they're not a tool for that kind of thing. They're a human being, and we'll just talk, and if someone says something clever or interesting, that's the reward. And if they don't, the reward is the companionship. And as we all know, by watching any kind of, like, the Lord of the Rings, for instance, your companions can make or break a trip. So I'd say just be careful who you hang out with on OOVOO. Don't hang out with just anybody. Don't be an OOVOO slut. Oh man. It can be good times, but more often than not, to me, it just seems like a disappointment. Too chaotic. Not enough respecting of boundaries. Too much talking. That's gorgeous out here.